8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go!
Here we give you the real news, not the fake news like the other channels. And we'll post news that the other media just doesn't show you.
Good morning.
Woohoo.
Oh boy, it's one of the mornings too.
Mm-hmm. Chilly today for us.
Yeah, WTH, Christy, Donna, Vicky, Pat, Chris, Gigi, WTH. I think I said that already though.
Yep. What the heck?
Yeah. WTH, I got your email, and yes, those are bad eggs. You want to definitely get rid of those eggs. It sounds kind of gross, but just or you just pick them off and then squish them in your hand.
Yep.
There's many ways of doing it, but when those hatch, they will eat your plant.
Then we got Jaden and this heroic waffle dude. Do we know this guy? This waffle guy? Who the heck is that?
On what other name?
Yeah.
Did you change your name, or is that another account?
And then we got Tammy.
Hey,
I think
Tammy, how's it going?
I think that's another one of his other accounts because he had 2 channels. I think he had a heroic prepper and then heroic waffles.
Yeah, he used to talk about his DVD collection and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
it's a movie channel. Yeah. Yep. Put a clear bag and
okay, yeah, that works.
Yep.
Eventually, you'll get to where it's not so gross-ish, and it'll just be like same with bugs. You go and wash your hands, and you're done.
Yep. Little bug guts ain't gonna hurt you.
Hey Gil, good to see you. Hope you're doing good. Oh boy. And I don't know if, I didn't look and see if there's any food stuff going on ahead of time. I didn't get the chance to look.
Oh, did you look at that lady I sent you yesterday?
Yeah, that's a bit too high of a channel.
Oh.
Yeah, well, I can see this one. Celebrating Appalachian is kind of a high channel too. Oh, Diane's canning chicken might check that out. There's some tomato sauce that don't look like tomato sauce though.
Look, we're already starting with food. Good morning, everybody. Hope y'all ate.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a lot. There's a lot in the news. And I was kind of waiting to see if What Life popped in here because, well, those who are in Georgia know about this. and it just popped up in the feed all of a sudden. So I thought I would actually share it.
I'm gonna go grab a sweatshirt
Because
while you do that. Morning, CJ.
and I thought they had already tore it down, but everybody remembers this thing, you know.
Guidestones.
Yeah, somebody graffitied it and stuff, and I don't know, are they just now tearing it down, or is this just an old video that's recirculating? But we'll go ahead and show it, them tearing it down. It went over pretty easily. And I think I don't know. It's just one of them weird. It just popped up in the news feed and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I thought they had already tore it down.
Hey, Pat. Good morning.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was already tore down. And why is it recirculating again? Is it a, you know, the anniversary?
I was gonna say to the date when they did it.
Yeah.
Heroic.
That's the only thing I can think of.
Heroic said 2022 is when they took it down.
Yeah.
So it must be like an anniversary type thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And I thought I would go ahead and put something on there. A little bit of fun. Here we go.
You ready, Barry? Yeah, I'll get you. I'm a bird. Sure you got me. Yeah, just come back. All right. What is you doing? What? I believe I can fly.
This guy's funny. So
He loves that trampoline.
Ready,
I
Barry?
gotta watch out.
Yeah, I'll catch you.
I have to hit it one more time.
that was good.
I'm a bird. You sure you got me? Yeah, just come back. All right. What is you doing? What? I believe I can fly. Wait until I say
He-
go, okay?
He got nut tagged.
I love that one when the people use that last one. Body.
Yeah.
Well,
He having a blast with that thing.
happy 16th birthday to CJ's daughter. Happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Going to get her learner's permit today and have
Oh
lunch.
boy.
Yep. You might want to have lunch after. Yeah, after. That's awesome.
Okay.
I'm psyched.
And this news article kind of there's multiple parts in this, which I'll revert back to this one, but Pentagon was hacked. They actually got into the Pentagon and stole documents and whatnot. So we just had, you know, the issues with the scheduling and stuff from the airlines, and
still are, too.
911 was down and multiple things.
Friday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
And the
Friday.
thing is, like I said, when it happened, they are also involved. They also do the security for the voting machines.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, everybody's talking about that.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I just said this. And again, this is going to tie into something else. Hackers leaked stolen documents from a massive IT company that services the Pentagon. What I had already said. According to Bloomberg News, the IT company Leidos Holdings recently learned about the breach, and that's the alarming thing is when they learn about it. It's not that they caught him in an act; they learned that it was already done.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't know until they stumbled across it.
Which is pretty
And
bad.
there's a lot of more on this, but let me go ahead and find this other article here.
Ark World Man's
Oh,
in the house. Good morning, Ark.
and here's oh, there we go.
I'm gonna mute. I got a choo-choo coming.
This popped up because of the same thing. Maricopa County is in Arizona, Phoenix area. Due to the global tech outages, Maricopa County elections is also experience an outage at some voting locations. Please visit locations maricopacounty.vote for the most up-to-date information about locations that are open and their hours of operation. So we haven't even got to November already, and we're going to start seeing this. Of course, it's in Spanish too. That way, you know, the illegals know what's going on too.
Yep.
But this is happening in multiple locations. They're just one of the first ones that report this. Let me find the
Even to
other
this
one.
minute, I think there's a couple of certain airlines that are still having problems
Yeah.
with their services to this second.
Except for the one that's using the outdated software.
Probably the one that my dad took to go to the thing.
And here it is again. The hackers breached Pentagon, leaked documents from IT service provided. They disclose internal documents taken. The company became aware of the situation recently, and so suspects that the documents originated from the breach of diligent or system. Yeah, and it's a lot of fishiness, and again, this also is tagged in with another story that we're going to be going over. Let me see if I can find it.
Morning, Camo.
May not have it on here.
I agree with you, Christy Betts. World's gone nuts. Yep.
Yeah. I don't have it up here, but they did with this breach, or you know, hackers or whatever you want to call it. They did find out that there was other people involved in the assassination attempt. And actually, I think I do have something about that too. Well, I'll go ahead and I can't play the video, but I'm sure everybody's already seen this video of the police, and it's the police body cam. It's not Secret Service.
Mm-hmm.
Secret Service doesn't have body cams. Um, the police body cam actually shows this.
Yep.
Now, there's a couple reasons why can't show the video itself, because there is certain things you can kind of see it down there at the bottom. But
Behind. Yeah.
also there is cell phone, and
Yep.
I'm not one of the Secret Services up there is using a cell phone, and it's supposed to been linked to this cyber thing, meaning and I talked about this yesterday about every phone has a way of being tracked and everything. As soon as you turn it on, you're being tracked, and they log all this information. So when they do investigations like this, they try to figure out, were there anybody else involved? How many people were in this location during this time? And they scan everybody's phone during this time. Now, they found out that there was 9 devices in his house location where the shooter lived. There was and they had the mother's phone, the dad's phone, and all this. And by the way, stream last night got taken down. No strike or warning. Ooh, you got lucky then.
Hot life. 101.
And the 9 devices, minus the mothers, the dads, and the devices in the home, there were 3 other devices, and those 3 other devices actually went to the shooter's work, the shooter's home, the gun range, and also at the rally. Those other 3 devices were also in DC. And there's not at the FBI office, and it's not a, like the main FBI building in DC. There's certain offices throughout DC that are, I guess, like a substation type of building or residence. I'll put it that way. And right next to that is where these devices were stationed at, or housed, or where they spent the night or something in that effect, because they were in that location for multiple hours. And then they would go back to Pennsylvania to his home, and then so forth, to his work, and to places that he has already been. I don't know if he was under investigation, or that was their involvement. I don't know. All I know is they found these devices, and one of the reasons why they found these devices because of the hacks that were going on within the Pentagon, with the 911 services and all that stuff. All this is all linked together. Now, what I will show you here is this is part of the thing from yesterday, but we'll go ahead and pop that up there and go ahead and play this.
Chairman, thank you for hosting this hearing. Colonel Paris, you're the commissioner of the Pennsylvania State Police Department.
Yes, sir, I am.
And your testimony, sir, is that approximately 25 minutes, and won't hold you to the exacts, but approximately 25 minutes before the first shots were fired, that local law enforcement officers identified Crooks as suspicious?
As suspicious, yes, sir.
And what was it that led those officers to conclude that Crooks was suspicious?
My understanding was that he was milling about and he stood out to them because he never made his way to a point of ingress to the venue.
With respect to him being suspicious, were there other folks who were also in the crowd identified as suspicious by law enforcement?
I have been briefed that, yes, there were multiple individuals, which would be consistent with normal operations for a detail like this that are identified as suspicious.
Can we take that as a single-digit number of other folks?
The number that I was briefed on was single digit, but I can't say definitively that I was.
What number were you briefed on, Colonel?
Excuse me?
What number were you briefed on?
I believe I was briefed on an additional 3 individuals.
Okay, so Crooks plus 3.
As suspicious, yes, sir.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And this was, you know, and they were at, and this was them at the rally, that they were tracking these other extra 3, so that's 4 involved in this.
Mm-hmm.
And from other reports, and this is from police, the local police, not Secret Service or Homeland or whoever else was volunteering to do their job there. They were tracking these other 3 when they lost said shooter. Now, there's another report just came out that the guy, the local police were inside the building, the 2-story building, right next to, in that where they took pictures from of said shooter beforehand, and they seen him up, or they noticed him trying to get up or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So they left their spot to go find him. So that's the reason why, you know, when I said, why didn't the guys up there take him out when they seen him up on the roof? Why didn't they take him out? Because they had a clear shot of him from that window. The reason why, they left their location, both of them, they left the location and went looking for him. Why did they go looking for him? Why did they call it over on the radio and stay at your post?
Right.
Because that's what you're supposed to do. But they left. That's what the report is saying right now.
Maybe they were
They
told.
left their post to go find him, and then they couldn't find him, and you know, shots are already done.
They were probably told to leave. Who knows? You know, or told to ignore it, suggested to ignore it, whatever, you know?
Yeah. And yeah.
It's just all crazy.
Oh, here's that story right there.
Hey, Dig Deep in Ministry. He says waffles are not cake. Just saying.
Yeah, officers left post to go look for Trump rally gunmen before shooting, state police boss says. And this is on record. And I have to hand it I have to hand it to this guy. He actually answers some questions. Unlike our FBI, Homeland Security, they refuse to answer any questions. They knew the answers, but refuse to answer.
Yep.
Yeah, again, I think 101 was on track, except he had the wrong person involved in it. He thinks Harris was involved in it. There's somebody else that you completely forget about that's running the country right now, and that's good old Jill. I think everybody's overlooking her, and I think she's more powerful than everybody thinks. So I would say go check out 101's live for last night, but they got rid of it. Which makes you think maybe he might have been on the right track other
Right.
than him falling asleep during the live
Yep.
a few times. But the fact that both of them left their post, which would have easily been able to take out said shooter when he was walking over the thing and climbing up for a better shot.
Yep.
They could have easily took him out, but they weren't there. Why did just not one of them leave and go find him? Why didn't they go and call it on the radio? They took pictures of him and sent it out to other areas in which nobody understood that either.
Did you see 101 asked if you'd seen
Yeah,
it?
yeah, I did.
That's ridiculous.
I don't even read them anymore. I get these. I get those every day. Which this one, I'll be hit on this one too. By the way, so I have to appeal everything. These are the parents. They finally went to the grocery store.
Yep.
They got out. One is a libertarian, which I have no idea what the heck a libertarian is. And one's a Democrat. The mother's a Democrat and the father's a libertarian. Eric, you want to chime in on what a libertarian is?
Not if you want to get taken down.
Well, a nice way.
That cart that he has, that looks like about to go into a bug out bag. I saw him last night. I saw this footage last night. That's not normal groceries they're bringing home.
Well,
there's all kinds of water and this and that, and
yeah, you got to realize that they've been stuck in their house.
Yeah, but you got running water, right? At least one would think you do.
I got running water, but I don't drink it.
Don't drink it.
There's it's the best way to put it is it's a cover up, all of it.
Oh,
top,
yeah.
Bottom, north, south, east, west, and it's always going to be one, and we're never going to find out the real truth. Just like when Jack Kennedy got shot. You're never, ever, ever, ever going to know. That crime scene's been washed, buried, done.
Okay.
Matthew, why would your son want to kill the president?
Back off. No comment.
No comment.
Were there any warning signs, Matthew?
No comment.
How's Mary holding up?
Yeah.
What a lake.
Again, they're all dressed in black. It's I mean, when you try to cover up so much, it kind of makes it obvious.
Why is she wearing a mask?
No comment.
No comment.
When our legal counsel advises us to do so. Until then,
You're gonna have to let the FBI answer that one.
And I didn't get this. What?
Please give us our.
Did you notice? You notice that?
What's that, Bush?
Okay, let's go back here. One bag of groceries.
We just want to try to
Yeah,
take care of
that's what I'm
ourselves
saying.
right now.
Wait, watch it. Oh, close it.
Please give us our space.
Why?
Maybe they had something else in their trunk they didn't want people seeing.
Either the
Right.
trunk or they don't want people seeing what they're buying.
Right.
Because she freaked out when he came around to record. She freaked out and hurried up and shut it real
Close the
quick.
door. Yeah. Looks like they're
Yeah,
leaving town.
That's what I just said. Bug out bag stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They'll do it in the dead of night in someone else's car, provided by some other. Well, you know what I mean.
I thought it was extra. You know, it didn't make much sense. You know, why hurry up and close it? And we can see all the food and stuff you have, but looks like
there's other
like
stuff.
what you said. They're getting a bunch of stuff so they don't have to go outside, or maybe there's another location they're going to.
They're going to, yeah. They're probably protect, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought this was
going on a trip, maybe. WTH said, yeah. A real far away trip. Yep.
Here's another
choo-choo.
Interesting. And again, we know that this has been planned for a long time. This was not an accident that they waited until the last minute to get Harris up there. And by the way, when they say Trump is going to ruin democracy and stuff, how do they say that when they put somebody, a Democrat, that was not voted in per se, like normally you're supposed to go up against other people of your party. Where are these other people? They can't there's other people that wanted to run for the Democratic side for president. They couldn't because there's no time. They waited till the last minute, so the only person that can run is Harris.
Yep.
There's nobody else because they picked her. They put her on, in the spot. There's nobody there else that they can put in there.
Shows that some senior citizens across the U.S. have been donating thousands of times per year. Some of these individuals' names and addresses are attached to over $200,000 in contributions. We went and knocked on a few of their doors to corroborate the data that we received from a group of citizen journalists called Election Watch in Maryland. This is James O'Keefe with OMG. I'm here in Annapolis, Maryland. It's an individual who has donated a total of $217,000 made through 12,000 different contributions in a 3-year period of time. Now, sometimes these contributions have been made in variations of his name and variations of his address. You see this chart here. This chart shows a breakdown of the committees that were earmarked to receive the donations made through Act Blue. And this is all FEC and state data. We're wondering if these donors are victims of what appears to be a money laundering scheme, or these residents actually participated in the scheme, or making phone calls, or knocking on doors. These are things that you can do. We hope you do that. Follow me along and see what happens. This is something that you guys can do. Very easy to do. A lot of homes with bizarre amounts of data showing tens of thousands of contributions made through different contributors here. So a lot of questions, and we hope the Citizen Journalism Army at OMG can answer them. This is an easy thing to do. Knocking on doors, asking questions.
Yeah. Why say I want to donate to a certain party, and normally you would just go down and say, hey, I got a donation for you guys, blah, blah, blah. And you give them money. Why do you have to go through multiple companies and multiple donations just to donate? When you donate, you don't go through all this stuff. You go straight to, you go down and you give them a check or you transfer funds or whatever. You just don't donate. That's it. You don't go through another company. You don't make multiple different donations. You just donate, and they're finding out that everybody on this list of, that $80 million that was donated, they're finding out all this fishiness. And I'll go ahead and finish playing it here.
Get yourself a little microphone. Get yourself a camera. You can use an iPhone. What we're going to do as citizen reporters is go back to the car and call them. Right? We're going to call them. A few numbers to call. Contributed 3,000 contributions. $32,000.
3,000.
The FEC records indicate that you donated $32,000, 3,000 different contributions people made at this address in your name. Are you aware of that happening? You're not aware of that happening?
Ooh. Talk to Donald Trump.
Talk to Donald Trump? Well, how would Donald Trump help me answer that question?
Hit him with a bat.
Hit Donald Trump with a bat?
Yeah. Right over the head.
How would that help me answer this question?
It would certainly keep you in the news.
To do with
I
it.
want to see a scar on his fucking head. Now stop fucking with me.
Whoa. Whoa.
Forget about
of Annapolis, Maryland, who in the year 2022 allegedly contributed over 1,000 times to Act Blue, totaling $18,849.77. That means Cindy would have had to donate 3 times a day, every day for the whole year.
Exactly.
Hello. Hey there, Cindy. My name's James O'Keefe, and we're doing a story on the number of people that have donated with your address. Did you donate to Act Blue, a political cause? How many times a month do you donate to Act Blue?
I don't know. I don't know how many times. I don't understand why I'm getting this.
Well, the question is, you did donate to Act Blue, right?
Yes, once in a while, yes.
Did you donate 1,009 times?
I don't know. I mean, I made once in a while I donate $5 or so dollars or something like that during election year.
What about $18,850?
I doubt that.
Not that many donations.
No, I don't think so.
What the Federal Election Commission indicates that much money was donated to Act Blue and Biden for president.
I wish I could have donated $18,000 to Biden's presidency.
How much did you donate?
I don't know. I don't
Order
know.
of magnitude.
I like I said, I donate $5 once in a while to because I have various charities I like to give to.
Do you know people are using your address?
I don't think so.
So, interestingly enough, she said she donates something like $5 a month. But we're getting kind of a pattern of reactions here as we do this. The woman was a very nice lady. She talked to us. So interestingly enough, it's even in a two-party consent state like Maryland, with the camera out in the open, people are still being honest. This is sort of new to me. Usually we use the covert cameras, but maybe the camera's a truth serum.
But does it sound about right? There's been 18,000 contributions
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
In the amount of like $170,000.
Absolutely not.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. So that's not you doing that?
No, it's not.
But does the frequency ring a bell that you're donating that much every 10 times a day sometimes? No. Do you think someone is maybe fraudulently debiting your?
Now I'm gonna chime in here again.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and I know Eric will know about this, but because he's in that area, where he was in that area, in Jersey, New York, and stuff. When they find somebody, a company comes in and deposits, under a certain amount of money every day and stuff, and then they withdraw it again. They're usually involved in a certain group in New York, and they created a thing that's called the RICO thing for that purpose. because they found out, and it's called, and I don't even know if you can say that, but washing of money. We'll put it that way.
Yep.
And that New Jersey and New York were real famous about that.
Mm-hmm.
They even made a series out of a lot of it, Sopranos and whatnot. When a person donates every day $10, $10, so they say.
Mm-hmm.
And you notice the common denominator here is Act Blue, and
Sure.
101 brought it up last night about it. But I actually did a bit more digging into it. Hillary was also on the board of this at one time. I don't know if she still is or anything. But the fact that there's a Clinton involved in it, let your imaginations go on that one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Your accounts or something?
We must. Act Blue is the one I use for
Inside.
political
Right. Yep.
donations, and I do not make that kind of political donations.
Right.
So right here, it's 18,672 different contributions that total an amount of $170,000 and 221 cents.
No.
So I'm about to call Garland Riggs. He's the excessive
Notice they're all
small amount
elderly,
donor.
too.
31,073 individual contributions were made under his address. He's 80 years old. He lives on the outskirts of D.C. So many people across the country. I'm going to call him and see if I can make a contribution in his name. See how he responds. He's either a victim of some type of conspiracy or he's a culprit himself. A lot of these phone numbers are available on white pages on Google and other apps where you can find people's phone numbers and information. Hey there, Mr. Riggs.
Yeah.
James O'Keefe, just asking about those contributions. We spoke on the phone. Have you donated to Act Blue in the past?
I don't believe so.
You're listed as someone who's given over 31,000 individual contributions to various causes for a total of $230,000 using your name in this address.
No, that's not us.
That's not you?
Nope.
Have you ever donated to Act Blue? Or
I think my wife has, but nowhere near.
Are you aware that people are using your name?
No,
Have you donated to Act Blue in the past?
I don't believe so.
You're listed as someone who's given over 31,000 individual contributions to various causes for a total of $230,000 using your name in this address. How much did you donate to Act Blue?
So would you say 1,000 a year?
Not 1,000? Would the FEC records say that you've given $230,000?
No.
Here's that someone else may be committing a crime using your address. I'll email you that information, the FEC records.
And do you think you can find at least some of these individuals?
That's what I do, sir. So when you do these, when you walk up to the home, you want to say the person's name. Let's call them Smith. Smith, did you donate to Act Blue or Biden for president? Do you know how many times donations were made in your name? Follow-up question, did you donate 3,000 times, right? You ask those questions in that manner in order to elicit honest responses. We have dozens of other homes just in this state alone, but hundreds across the country that match his profile. You can do the same thing, knocking on doors, asking questions. Follow up, you can also ask him for comment before we publish the story. We will do that too. This is James O'Keefe reporting on the ground in Annapolis, Maryland for OMG.
Yeah, which is a good channel to check out. They do have a lot of good stuff on there.
They really,
but
they
again,
really shut him down. He used to do a lot more.
oh yeah,
O'Keefe.
and hopefully I don't get in trouble for playing that.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean,
yeah, it makes you wonder.
Yeah, and
A
all of
lot
them,
of that stuff is going on.
all of them are elderly.
Yep.
Yep. Over the age of 70 at least. Well, like the last gentleman was 80.
How about the old
Okay.
guy that wanted to bash?
I know.
They should have thrown him a bottle of Jack.
Hit him with a bat.
Yeah.
And I think it's time for a funny.
Uh-oh. Oh, a shrimp. Dwarf tossing.
Poor Biden.
that poor guy. I mean, they've done enough to him. Are you guys gonna watch him speak today?
Yeah, it's supposed to be 8:00. He'll probably be late.
Oh, 8:00.
Yeah.
Well, that's past his sauce time. What are they doing to him?
I'll
I
went
don't
ahead.
know.
Oh, go ahead.
You know, well, I'm just saying. I mean, I get it. Be sympathetic and all that other stuff, but you know, how far gone is he? Is this an actor? Is this a show? Because if it is, why would I have sympathy for him or anyone else in that administration? It's just, it's see, that's what they, to me, that's what they want. They want your pity. You know,
I'm sorry.
101, they got.
What life's out of it?
Oh boy!
And we
call
have
that
to put her up.
a Q toss. But
We
she's
have to put her
firing.
up here again. So here we go.
So much to uncover here. The police in Pennsylvania, according to the police commissioner, they did not have a timeline either. So yesterday, Kimberly Cheadle said that she doesn't have a timeline of events. And then today, the police commissioner from Pennsylvania said that he does not have a timeline of events, which is so ridiculous. The timeline is out there. It's easy to figure out based on all the video footage. It's people have the timeline. And here's what we do know. We do know that this guy, Thomas Crooks, was on everyone's radar 59 minutes before President Trump was shot. We also know that 18 minutes before President Trump took the stage, that emergency services took a picture of Thomas Crooks and they sent that picture to the Secret Service. That's what the police commissioner revealed to us in our hearing just within the past hour. I asked him specifically in my questioning, I said, who did they send this picture to? It was 18 minutes before President Trump took the stage. He said that the picture was sent to Secret Service and that they were given a phone number to call and let them know about Thomas Crooks. And then Thomas Crooks was able to get his way on top of the AGR building, and he was on the roof. And then police right there on the scene, one of them was hoisted up. The police commissioner said one of them was hoisted up, and he peered over the roof. And, you know, I saw it as an eyewitness, saw Thomas Crooks there with the gun. This was also before President Trump took the stage. The question that everybody should be demanding to know is, why was President Trump ever allowed to take the stage? I just came out of the Homeland Security Committee hearing where we have been questioning the police commissioner from Pennsylvania, just asking all the questions that we possibly can. He told our committee that he does not have an official timeline. That's the same answer that the former director of Secret Service, Kimberly Cheadle, told us yesterday, that she did not have a timeline. However, we have a timeline. Our oversight committee, we were given a timeline yesterday. Timelines are widely available. Ordinary people have been able to put together a timeline, and it's easy to do based on all the video evidence. The very serious nature and questions that we have is the communications between the local police and Secret Service. And it seems to be there's a lot of problems there. We also want to know who was in charge of the advance team for Secret Service. Kimberly Cheadle refused to tell us that yesterday when I questioned her. And then the other thing that I asked her, was there a stand down order given? And I think that was the appropriate answer to ask. No matter what the mainstream media says, no matter what the Democrats say about us, no matter the labels that they give us, calling us conspiracy theorists, you want to know something? The government has failed the American people so badly and continues to do so on a daily basis. It is right to ask them these questions because looking from the outside and not having the information, it is easy to come to conclusions that this was a setup. And no one believes that this 20-year-old Thomas Crooks was able to pull this off by himself. And if he did this by himself, then the logical conclusion is that Secret Service is such a failure, and there were so many failures from the advance team all the way through the day of the rally that they aren't capable of protecting President Trump's life, and that should scare everyone. So it's either one or the other, and we deserve answers to our questions.
Yep.
That's she's
the,
right on.
the whole boosting of the officer thing. There was video the whole time.
Yeah.
When the shooter walked across the walkway there and scooted up the high pitched roof.
Yeah. Such a high pitched roof.
There's actual video of the one law enforcement guy interlacing his fingers so the other guy can get his foot and get it lifted up onto the top of the building. That's disappeared now too. Just like these donations get they use a lot of Tide detergent, shall we say.
Well, that's these, when they sit there and start talking about these little tidbits that they put in here, that's what makes everybody start thinking conspiracy this, conspiracy that.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was filmed from one side, and there was nobody boosted up onto the roof. There were what? Anyways, there were on the other side of the building, and when they were trying to boost people up, and maybe the part where you seen was after the fact, after the shooting.
It could have been, it could have been, but now I can't find that anymore.
There was, and then that's when they went and got a ladder from one of the trucks. And that famous ladder that was in pictures was Secret Service putting that up there because they couldn't get up on the roof.
Yep.
Well, they should have been on the roof to begin with. So
yeah, and like I said, they were right there at in that window, that 2-story window. It was, you can see it in the film and everything that he was. The window was open and they could have had a clean shot, but they left. Who leaves their post?
Well, they say they left. We're never going to know.
Yeah.
Right. They could have just walked away and turned around.
Or duck down.
Yeah, duck down.
Or stand down.
Waited 30 seconds or however much time, and then said, "Oh, we're right over here. We were right there." Yeah.
Here, and this was yesterday. And I'm not saying one thing or the other or whatnot, but if you zoom in enough, or if here, let me see if I can actually
look at his face. He looks like the puppet from what the heck's his name?
Okay. and I'm not trying to make fun of him or anything, but if you look at the upper part of his lip, those who have been on breathing apparatuses, their lips and stuff get chapped and they get really red, irritated from the hose that goes down into their lungs so they can breathe. This is the, when he was missing and then showed up yesterday at the airports and whatever, everybody noticed that he had a really bad red area, chapped lips, or whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
And there's a lot of nurses said that's from the breathing tubes that were in that, in Nevada. There was a lot of reports going on that they took him to the hospital, and then instead of they took him out and rushed him onto the airplane and all that stuff. Yeah.
Well, that's why they were saying that he sounded like he had his teeth pulled too. You have that weird sound in your throat.
Yeah.
When you talk, because I've had that been the tube down my throat thing when I've been real sick, and it takes like about a week, even for a normal person, a young person, for sometimes their voice to come back to normal because of the way it goes down your throat.
Yeah.
Yep.
And of course it was, it was probably, recorded messages and stuff, but yeah. And here I thought this was something good to put on here. I thought it was kind of funny. We got to get some laughs in here from time to time. And sitting there watching this girl sit there and look at the plates. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plates.
Yeah.
And those are 45-pound plates, I do believe. Usually what they are. But anyway, I'll go ahead and play it. Let me mute the music.
They're not gonna be able to do it. She's like, haha.
Yeah, I like that.
That's funny.
Yeah, I've seen that with the leg machines where you squish your legs together or pull them apart. You get guys up there and they can't do it. Okay. Yeah, let me go ahead and close that one because it's
PH2's in the
outdated.
Say
I'll go ahead and play this, and this is Harris's rally that she had going on yesterday.
Yeah.
And I want you to, if you notice anything in this first little bit here. Now watch. Okay, did you notice anything? If I play it backwards, you can kind of tell.
The signs down there?
Yep. You notice how the signs go up as the camera's panning around.
Yep.
So why did they do that? They have somebody behind them holding a sign up with,
a cue card.
Yeah, or it's just the sign, and everybody said, "Oh, I'm gonna do that,"
Yep.
To make it, seem like everybody's
when
in
you see
sync,
the
supporting
pan
and all
towards
that.
you, Up that sign.
Yeah, and I'll show you another part here. Okay.
Right there.
You notice this auditorium is much deeper, and it stops right up here.
Mm-hmm.
So it only goes back that far, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other panels past that, further back. So it's not as they cram everybody in a smaller section and make it look like there's a lot of people there. And they showed that there was a big number of people out there waiting to get in, and they counted it, and there was 12 people waiting to get in. So they're trying to say that, you know, Harris draws the bigger crowds than Trump and everything. A lot of times, nobody shows what Trump looks at from his angle and looks out. There is sea of people out there that they never show on media or anything. They only show, you know, the bleachers in the back and maybe a few people up front. They never show like something like this. I'll go ahead and play it again. And if you look over here, you can see how small this little area is, how far it actually goes back. It only goes from here to there. I mean, there's quite a few people, but the way they act like there's hundreds of thousand people there, it's kind of silly. And they cram them all in a little area, so it makes it look like there's so many people. Now, if they you know, use the whole auditorium, it wouldn't look like there was that many people. It would look like an empty, and it's actually just a gym, a high school gym. But yeah, I thought that was interesting and they're all, you know, and I got this from Democrats too, by the way. And I thought it was funny because, you know, the camera pans around and everybody all of a sudden sticks up their little signs. The way they do camera tricks and stuff to make it seem like, well, we got all these people here, you know. And this is what I'm talking about, democracy and how Trump's supposed to ruin it and everything like that. But let me go ahead and put this up here, and she says it so good. I think this is the one that I had.
After weeks of misleading and gaslighting the nation, President Biden announced today that he will not run for re-election. While this decision might initially seem on its face to be a positive development for the Democratic Party, here's why it's actually quite sinister. By choosing to delay this announcement until late July of an election year, Biden has hindered qualified Democratic challengers from having a genuine opportunity to become the nominee. Dean Phillips ran to offer voters an alternative, one that they might have preferred if they had known Biden never intended to seek a second term. Bobby Kennedy also pursued the Democratic nomination early on, only to quickly realize that the process was rigged in favor of Joe Biden. What the DNC, Biden, and the ruling class of the Democratic Party have done is corrupt. It's un-American and ultimately a grave harm to our democratic process. We are now facing a situation where the powers that be are self-appointing Biden's replacement. They have already named their chosen candidate, Kamala Harris, and anyone attempting to challenge this at the DNC convention next month will be smeared, blacklisted, and labeled a traitor to the party. This too is corrupt, un-American, and a true threat to our democracy. I spoke with my FEC lawyer this morning, and he confirmed with me that over $240 million that the Biden campaign has raised can only be used by Kamala Harris remaining on the ticket. She was not voted into this role. She is a de facto candidate by virtue of spending power. If it is not Kamala on the ticket, this fund goes to the party, for which only $32 million can be coordinated with the candidate's campaign. The Democratic Party has abandoned any semblance of being a legitimate party for the common man, all in the name of defeating one man, Donald Trump. And even there, they are not being sincere. They want a retail politician that they can control and also one that can beat Donald Trump. This is an impossible dual task. As a lifelong progressive Democrat, I am ashamed of the party leadership I once supported and deeply sorry to the millions of Americans who have placed their hope in a political machine that does not serve their best interest. I remember the frustration I had the last several years trying to reason with leadership within the party, realizing I was not speaking to anyone with any authority or a serious commitment to the people of this country and its future. So thankfully, there is another path. Never before has it been more necessary to have an independent choice. This is why I believe supporting Bobby Kennedy is the way to end this duopoly once and for all. Now is the time for real change.
What she says, except for the Bobby Kennedy thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's right on. It was all planned, you know, the whole thing was planned. You know, it's all rigged. And
yep. And Bobby Kennedy should be one that knows because of his family.
Yeah.
Yep. Been there, done that already.
And you know, with all the protests going on in DC right now, with because what's his name's down there. I found this little tidbit, and I thought that we need to watch it. Here we go.
It's not on the screen yet.
Oh, didn't it go on? Here, let me.
For months now, millions of people around the world have been chanting Free Palestine. Well, I've decided to see Palestine. Welcome to the Wild West Bank.
I probably shouldn't be playing that music, but
of Hamas.
There we go.
Yes,
of course.
Yes. Are most Palestinians?
Yeah.
Palestinian people like Hamas.
I'm with the resistance.
Did you see the videos they posted of what they did on October 7th?
Everything.
And you're okay with all that?
With everything they did.
They killed innocent Israelis. They killed. Yes,
No.
they did.
No.
Yes, they did.
Give me a picture for rape.
Do you think Hamas should release the Israeli hostages?
No. No.
Nothing's named Israel. There's nothing named Israel? Yeah. The Quran mentions Israel over 100 times. Is Palestine mentioned in the Quran? No. No. The murders Hamas did on October 7th, is that okay?
Yes. They have the right to do it.
The problem is not Hamas. We should look at the bigger picture. They living under occupation.
But Israel left Gaza in 2005.
Sure.
What does Antifada mean? Violent. Neither one of us were born anywhere near 1940. We have to deal with the reality today.
No.
No, don't deal with the reality today.
Britain brought all the criminal Jews since 1948. They can go back. Hollanda, Iraq.
Most of those places, they were kicked out of.
Jews have not been killed or exposed to any struggle or any violence.
In
Not
almost
in
every country in the Middle East.
No.
That's true.
Educate yourself. If they are kicked, it's because of their own actions.
What did they do besides being Jewish?
They steal. They do all awful deeds.
Does anyone here hate Hamas? In the U.S., it's a big movement right now. Queers for Palestine. Are you supportive of that?
No, we don't have it.
You don't have gay people yet?
No.
No.
It's like an alien. It would not be accepted.
No, to be honest with you, no.
Do you want to live with the Israelis in peace? Or
No. I want one state solution. No Israel.
So no more Israel.
Yes.
Israel wiped off the map.
Palestine فقط.
We should delete Israel.
So you would not be okay with a two-state solution?
Of course not.
Israel's prisoners, when they released from Gaza, they was smiling.
Do you think that these people are genuinely smiling after being held hostage? They're scared about their life.
Who put this in your brain?
I think you're in denial about Hamas. So Hamas implements strict Sharia law. It looks like in Ramallah, at least, you're free to show your hair. Would you want Hamas to be in charge?
They would allow for elections.
Why not? Had elections in Gaza in 20 years. That's a fact.
Maybe people there want them.
Thanks for watching this report. It truly is a wild, wild West Bank.
Yep.
Moon and Harvest, Mary Moon.
And there you have it with that one.
Yep.
Oh boy. And we thought that, you know, people who voted for Biden were blind and just odd and everything like that. But wow, I was like, how you don't see anything that happened during, you know, that when the Hamas attacked Israel. Everybody forgets about that.
I think it's like my generation, Bush generation, crazy generation. It's people are different now. Now you don't know how long that couple's been in the States. People that come here generally, and I don't need any hate mail because, you know, the truth hurts. But the people that come here now, they're not here to be good Americans. They're here to make money. They'll protest. They'll in other words, they poop where they eat, and they don't care.
Yep.
There's a difference between the generations before that were proud Americans and what we got here now, and the young kids that are growing up. They don't care, and sooner or later, it's going to bite them in the backside, and they're going to be like, what happened to this America? Well, maybe you should have treated it like the America and not been so selfish. That's just my 1.5 cents.
And before we get done here, there is or has been going on produce in Ohio, Connecticut, Delaware, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, Virginia, and West Virginia. These are all in Walmart, and it's the little bags that they sell of different vegetables and stuff. Poblano peppers, 16-ounce bag.
Yeah.
Cubaneros, 16-ounce bags. Green beans, salad cucumbers. You know, the little mini ones that they have. Serrano peppers, bell peppers, cucumbers, yellow squash, and zucchini. Bagged jalapenos, and that's this. The first batch that I said was wires. The second one is sold. These are sold in Aldi stores in Kentucky, New York, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia. These are fresh shires, bagged green beans, and bagged jalapenos. And the list goes on that there are tainted, you know, salmonella, listeria, all this stuff from these vegetables from Walmart's, Aldi's, Kroger's. What was the other ones? There's a whole list of different stores. I'll go ahead and put the link in so everybody can check it out. and these are bulk items, individual sold by the pound. Different peppers, cilantro sold in bunches, cucumbers sold whole, green beans, green bell peppers, habanero peppers, Hungarian wax peppers, the yellow wax peppers, jalapeno peppers, mixed vegetable boxes, shipped to Cleveland and Youngstown, Ohio, and to Ohio food banks only. So mustard greens, pickling cucumbers, parsley, again, poblanos, tomatillos, and this is from these went out to Walmart, Kroger's, Save-A-Lots, Shop and Save, and the list goes on and on and on with this. So you got to be very careful. I'll go ahead and put the link, and it's from Ohio's 10 News thing, and there's a whole list, but it's just not Ohio. But since it's Ohio News, that's the story. And oddly enough, you can't find much about this in any other areas. So, yeah, you got to be careful the vegetables you get now, even fresh stuff. There's so many different stores and different outlets that this is going out to that it's multiple states. And like most of it, it's Walmart. And I know we kind of went over a little bit, but and I don't really have too much for the last bit for the food, but it's canning chicken. So we'll go ahead and pop that up there. Let me hit the full screen.
Ooh, hope y'all ate breakfast.
Oh.
So today we are going to be canning some of our turkey. So we bought one turkey. We had one turkey frozen.
Oh, it's turkey.
Right now I am in the process of making bone broth with both of the bones from both of the turkeys. And I've got the breasts and the legs in here from the fresh turkey. All the rest of the leftover meat is in the pot making bone broth for that. That's a separate video, and it's up right now. So I'm going to show you how to raw pack turkey. Very, very simple. One of the basics of canning for beginning canners, one of the easiest things to do is meats. And that's because raw packing your meat, all you have to do is put it in the jar. You just have to make sure that you have the headspace correct. At 1.5 inches, 1.25 to 1.5 inches is what's recommended now. It used to be 1 inch, but they've upped it for chicken, and I am going to follow the same procedure for turkey since it's poultry, because of all the juices and the bigger chickens that we have now. So they've increased the headspace to 1.5 inches for chicken. That's because the chicken makes a lot of broth. And if you don't have that extra headspace, you're going to run the risk of a failed seal because of all of the grease coming out of your jars and siphoning as well. So we don't want either one of those things. So we're going to follow the procedures as outlined, and they're very, very simple. Whenever I'm teaching beginners pressure canning, one of the first things I do is teach them how to do meat. And it's because it's so simple. And I'm going to show you the process right now. First, I'm going to be cutting my turkey up, getting it off of the legs right here, and cutting up these breasts so they'll fit into my quart jars that I'm going to be using. And I'm going to be using wide mouth quart jars. And we'll see how many I get. So stay tuned and stay along for the ride. Okay, so we're back, and I've got my jars ready. They are washed and clean. They are not hot. because the food that we're going to be putting in them is not hot. So when you're raw packing meats, you want to make sure that they're room temperature and that your jars are the same temperature as your food. That's very, very important. Also, when your canner is going, you want to make sure that that water is the same temperature as your food and your jars, all the same temperature. So the reason that we do that is because if you put cold food into a hot jar and a hot canner, you're going to probably lose the bottom of your jars. They're going to bottom out on you. Not so much, it's not going to explode, and the lids are probably not going to pop off, but as a safety mechanism, the bottoms of your jars will pop off. I have had that happen to me in the very beginning when I was learning canning, not in a pressure canner, but in a water bath canner. I did it several times with pickles and a couple times with tomatoes when I was first learning 34 years ago. So take it from me, okay? You want everything the same temperature. So to get my canner ready, I've got my pressure canner here, and I'm just using my Miro. I don't want to drag out the All-American, and I'll go into detail about why I can't pick that up right now in another video. But I've got 3 quarts of water in my canner and about 3 tablespoons of vinegar. And the vinegar is to prevent hard water deposits, or your jars, when you take them out, you get that that white powdery substance on your jars. The vinegar, if you put vinegar in your water, whether it be a water bath canner or a pressure canner, that will prevent that, and you won't get it. Now, if you have really hard water, you might want to add a little bit more vinegar, and you still might get it. Here at the beach, at least twice a year, even if I add a 1/4 cup of vinegar, which I know sounds like a lot, but it's really not for here. When they're flushing the water systems and everything, we get very, very hard water. And no matter what I do, the jars will come out with that powdery hard water deposit on them, no matter how much vinegar I put in the water. So if you put vinegar in your water and you still have that powdery substance, wash your jars with vinegar and it will come right off. Don't worry, it's not going to harm your food. It's not inside of your food. If you're hot packing, please use filtered water. This is one of the reasons we use filtered water, is because it has all the minerals and everything. You don't want that on your food with tap water. If you're on well water, it might be a different situation. I know for me, I won't can anything with tap water. I will put it in my pot where the water does not touch the food, but I will not can with it because of all the minerals and things in it. So,
well, it's more because they put fluoride and chlorine and all the stuff that they clean the water with is in that water. Not to mention that water has probably already been used. And what I mean by used, when somebody goes to the bathroom, you're recycling it again.
That's just a little tip from me. Okay, so I just want to show you how I cut up my meat for the quart jars. And I just do it into chunks. This was 1 turkey breast. I cut it into chunks, and I'm just going to be filling the jar. Little bits by little bits. These chunks are just going to go in there. And you don't want to hard pack them down, but you do want it where there's no space on the in between the meat. This way you are assured that you'll have enough juice to cover all of your meat when the process is done. So I am just going to pack this, and I just hand pack it. Make sure you use clean hands. So what I'm doing here is I'm not hard packing it down. I am just barely pushing it just to fill in the gaps, and you can see it's pretty full all the way around. There's a little gap right there. I'm not really worried about that. I can push it down just a little bit more, and I'll get another piece of meat and fill it just a little tiny bit more, and then it'll be ready for canning. Okay, so right now I'm in the process of cutting a leg and a thigh, and I've got another leg and thigh to go. But what I want to show you guys is right here, this is about where you want to be, maybe a little bit less. I will probably take a little bit of turkey out of these. So I've got dark meat here, and I've got the turkey breast here. And what I've decided to do is mix them up because the turkey breast tends to be much drier than the dark meat. So I'm going to empty the jars and refill them and mix the dark and the white meat together so that I do have enough juice to cover all of the meat. So once I do that, I am going to wipe the jar down, the rim right around here, with vinegar on a cloth or a paper towel, and then take my lid and my ring and put it on here. And we're going to put those into the canner, into the pressure canner. And these are going to process for 70 minutes for quarts. So I'm not going to do that today because I don't have this.
Oh, there's
And you
the-
can
the
see how
vinegar.
this is about 1.5 inches down on all of the headspace. I think you guys can see that. So I'm going to wipe the rims because I was touching all the jars. And even if you don't think you can, okay. So these are going to go into my canner for 75 minutes. So what we want to do when we start canning is you want to bring the heat up very slowly because you don't want the heat in the heat of the water to get hotter than your jars are. And that's very easy to do if you turn the heat on high very quickly and warm the water too quickly. Then you can have busted jars as well. So you want to be very patient with the process and bring them up to temperature very slowly. And then when you do that, you want the pressure canner to vent for 10 minutes before putting your weight on it. So once you do that and you put the weight on it, when it starts to jiggle is when your timer starts, the 75 minutes. So the 75 minutes can turn into a 2-hour process, so or more. So don't let that hour and 15 minutes scare you. It's going to be about a 2-hour process for canning any kind of meat.
Oh, yeah.
That's 75 minutes. The same goes for quarts. If it says 90 minutes, that's an hour and a half. You want to probably add another hour to that. For processing time completed, putting your jars together, cooling your canner down.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and stop right there because she kind of talked about two different things. And anytime you're doing this, always look for the books. The ball book is probably the most common one to use nowadays for meat is what I'm talking about. Yeah. Even if you see it YouTuber talking about it, always double check with the book just to make sure. Because some people have different methods that work for them and whatnot. I always check to double check, make sure. Like if I find a recipe and I'm like, it says only do it for 10 minutes or something like that, I'll double check and see to make sure whatever I'm canning, it's supposed to be at a certain time and like how long you're supposed to vent and all that stuff. Always double check that stuff. But if you want to check out her channel, let me go ahead and post a link one more time. She does a lot of the cannons and meals in a jar and all that stuff. So good channel to check out. And yeah, I see a lot of people talking about canning meat, raw packing and everything.
Mhm.
I do everything except ground beef because I can't stand that big old clob of ground beef in a jar. I rather just brown it. That's all you have to do. Just brown it and then put it in the jar because unless you want a chunk of meatloaf.
Right. It
That's-
kind of compresses it.
yeah. Raw packing or canning is so much better, except for the ground beef. I just don't like it. It's weird texture and everything. I'd rather just pre-brown it and stuff. With that, we kind of went over 30 minutes, but
oh, whoops.
there was a lot of news. There was a lot of news. I mean, I could probably go on for another hour, but yeah, we'll save it for tomorrow. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us tonight or today.
Good morning.
Chances are I probably won't be live tomorrow morning. Because I got an appointment tomorrow, so we'll see you Friday though.
I want to retract that. I might go tomorrow morning. I'm going to retract that because my hubby will be home because we have appointments tomorrow too.
Oh, okay.
I forgot all about
So
that.
it's a good day for appointments then.
Yeah, Thursday with appointments.
Yeah. And we'll now I don't know who's going live tonight or whatnot, but yeah, we'll catch you guys definitely on Friday. And thanks everybody for hanging out today, and God bless. We'll see you on the next one.
Peace out.